Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Right.
You've got a stack of info about custom packaging
Yeah.
and how it can impact sales,
Mm-hmm.
specifically for glass pipes.
Okay.
We're going to extract the most valuable nuggets for you today,
Okay.
so you can walk away feeling like a packaging pro.
Yeah.
So to set the scene a little,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a really interesting blog post from cloverglasspipe.com
Interesting.
that focuses on the benefits of custom packaging.
Okay.
Now, you might be thinking glass pipes,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
but stick with us.
Okay.
This deep dive is about way more than just pipes.
Right.
It's about the psychology of packaging
Mm.
and how smart design can make all products fly off the shelves.
Exactly. And I think one thing that's often overlooked
Yeah.
is that packaging is the first touch point a customer has with a product.
Mm.
It's like the handshake
I love that.
that sets the tone for the entire relationship.
That is such a good analogy.
Yeah.
And this blog post really hammers home the point.
Yeah.
That custom packaging isn't just a container.
Right.
It's your brand ambassador.
Yeah.
It's your silent salesperson.
Your 24/7 hype man.
It is. Out there 24/7, making sure your product makes a killer first impression.
Exactly.
So true.
And it goes way beyond just looking pretty.
Okay.
We're talking about creating a cohesive experience that communicates your brand's values and personality.
Mm-hmm.
Think about those brands that just nail it.
Yeah.
They make you feel something before you even touch the product.
It's like they're telling a story, right?
Totally.
But how does that actually translate into cold, hard sales?
Well, the blog post actually includes this fascinating chart
Okay.
that breaks down how visual appeal, brand storytelling, product protection, and providing clear information
Right.
all work together
Okay.
to create a positive perception of your brand.
I see.
It's about exceeding expectations,
Hmm.
making the customer feel like they got more than they bargained for.
So it's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about creating an experience.
Yeah.
What I'm really curious about is this idea of unboxing.
Oh, yeah.
That seems to be everywhere these days.
Unboxing.
People are filming themselves opening packages and sharing it online.
It's a thing.
Like it's an event.
Yeah,
Is this something brands are actually leveraging?
absolutely.
Really?
Savvy brands are designing packaging that isn't just functional,
Mm-hmm.
but also visually engaging and shareable.
Okay.
It's like creating a mini event
Yeah.
that people want to document and share with their networks.
I see.
That's free advertising with an authentic feel.
I can see how that could be huge,
Absolutely.
especially for a brand trying to build a following.
Yeah.
It's almost like turning your customers into brand ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
So how can someone design packaging that creates a truly memorable
Right.
and shareable unboxing experience?
It's about thinking outside the box, literally.
Okay.
Could you incorporate interesting textures or patterns that people want to touch? Could you add a personal touch, like a handwritten note or a small gift?
Yeah.
Even designing the packaging to be reusable or multifunctional
Right.
adds value.
Okay. I'm starting to see how much thought goes into this.
That's a lot.
You need to consider the practical elements like protecting the product,
Yeah,
but also the emotional response you want to create.
totally.
What about this idea of brand consistency in storytelling that the blog mentions?
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
It seems like packaging plays a key role in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Custom packaging allows you to control your brand narrative and create a cohesive experience across all touch points.
Okay.
Think about a brand like Patagonia.
Okay.
Their commitment to sustainability is
Yeah.
reflected not only in their products, but also in their packaging, which is often made from recycled materials.
I see.
They're not just telling you they're eco-conscious,
Ah.
they're showing you.
So it's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder how many purchasing decisions are influenced
Right.
by this kind of subtle brand storytelling.
It's hard to quantify,
Yeah.
but the impact is undeniable.
Right.
Every element of the packaging, from the materials to the colors to the typography,
Yeah.
can contribute to telling your brand story and forging a deeper connection with the customer.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just a box.
Yeah.
It's a marketing tool that can elevate your brand and create a lasting impression.
Absolutely.
And speaking of practicality,
Yes.
the blog also highlights the importance of product protection,
Of course.
especially for fragile items like glass pipes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, nobody wants to receive a shattered product.
Nobody.
So how does custom packaging factor into that?
Well, custom packaging can be designed to perfectly cradle and cushion a product. Okay. Minimizing the risk of damage during shipping.
Right.
This is especially crucial for fragile items. Fewer damaged goods means fewer returns and happier customers.
Makes sense.
Plus, there's the sustainability aspect,
Right.
which is becoming increasingly important to consumers.
Right. Everyone's thinking about their environmental footprint these days.
Yeah.
It's not just about protecting the product, it's about protecting the planet too.
Absolutely.
So how can a brand make sure their packaging is eco-friendly
Right.
without sacrificing functionality or aesthetics?
That's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
There are so many innovative options out there now.
Yeah.
From recycled paper to biodegradable plastics and plant-based inks.
Mm-hmm.
The key is finding a supplier who understands your values
Okay.
and can guide you towards the best choices for your product and brand.
So we've covered the basics.
Yes.
First impressions,
Mm-hmm.
the unboxing experience,
Right.
brand storytelling.
Yeah.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty of design.
Okay.
The blog post dives into color psychology,
Yeah.
typography, graphics, elements that can actually sway a customer's decision.
It's true.
How does that all come together?
Well, this is where the psychology of design comes into play.
Okay.
Colors evoke specific emotions and associations.
Yeah.
For example, green might be used for eco-friendly products because it's linked with nature and sustainability,
Right.
while blue can convey trust and reliability.
Okay. It's like speaking to the subconscious, right?
It is.
But are there specific examples of how these subtle color cues actually influence purchasing behavior?
Think about Tiffany & Co.
Okay.
That robin's egg blue box is practically synonymous with luxury.
Yeah.
Just seeing that color can trigger a desire for the product inside.
Wow.
Color can also be used to target specific demographics.
Right.
Bold colors for a younger audience, more muted tones for a mature market.
Right.
It's all about knowing your customer and speaking their language.
So choosing the right color palette is critical.
Yeah, it is.
What about typography?
Right.
How can something as simple as the font on a box influence someone's decision to buy?
Well-chosen typography can significantly enhance readability and appeal.
Okay.
Ensuring key information stands out, it goes beyond just picking a font that looks nice.
Right.
It's about aligning it with your brand's personality.
Okay.
A craft brewery might use a bold, rustic font to convey a sense of authenticity,
Okay.
while a tech startup might choose a sleek, modern font to signal innovation.
It's fascinating how much thought goes into these seemingly small details.
It is.
What about graphics and imagery?
Yeah,
Those obviously play a big role in attracting attention.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Graphics and imagery should be visually engaging and communicate your brand's message at a glance.
Right.
Think about the Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
It's instantly recognizable
Right.
and conveys athleticism and achievement without needing any words.
So true.
Powerful visuals can make your packaging stand out from the crowd and stick in the customer's mind.
It's like creating a visual shorthand for your brand.
Exactly.
What are some of the pitfalls brands should avoid when it comes to graphics and imagery?
A common mistake is trying to cram too much information onto the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be clear and concise, letting the visuals do the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Too much clutter can overwhelm the customer and dilute your message.
It's about finding that sweet spot between information and visual appeal.
Right.
Speaking of which, let's not forget about the functionality of the packaging itself.
Right.
How do you design something that's both beautiful and practical?
Functionality is crucial.
Yeah.
Packaging should be easy to open, close, and store.
Okay.
It should protect the product while also being convenient for the customer.
Right.
Think about child-proof packaging or single-serve snack packs.
Yeah.
These are great examples of form meeting function.
Right. It's about designing for the customer's needs and making their experience as positive as possible.
Exactly.
What about features like resealable bags or easy pour spouts? Do those seemingly small details really make a difference?
Absolutely.
Wow.
These thoughtful touches show that you're going the extra mile for the customer and considering their entire experience with the product.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
From first impressions to the unboxing experience, brand storytelling, and the psychology of design.
Yeah.
It's clear that packaging is more than just a container.
It's so much more.
It's a powerful marketing tool.
It is.
But how can someone who's new to this world start thinking about packaging strategically?
The first step is to define your goals.
Okay.
What do you want to achieve with your packaging?
Right.
Increase brand awareness,
Mm-hmm.
a boost in sales,
Yeah.
creating a more sustainable product.
Right.
Once you have clear objectives,
Okay.
you can start exploring options and finding a supplier who can help you bring your vision to life.
So it's about having a plan and not just jumping in blindly. What are some common mistakes people make when it comes to packaging design?
One of the biggest mistakes is underestimating the impact of packaging.
Okay.
Some businesses view it as an afterthought,
Yeah.
a necessary expense, but not a strategic investment.
Right.
They fail to see its potential to elevate their brand and create a memorable experience for the customer.
It sounds like that can be a costly mistake, both literally and figuratively.
Definitely.
What about those who go overboard with their packaging,
Yeah.
making it too complicated or over the top?
That's another common pitfall.
Okay.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of design and lose sight of functionality and clarity. Customers don't want to struggle to open a package
No.
or be bombarded with confusing information.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between creativity and practicality.
So how can someone ensure their packaging hits that sweet spot
Yeah.
and truly resonates with their target audience?
Research is key. Understanding your target audience's demographics, preferences, and pain points is crucial.
Right.
You want to design packaging that speaks to their needs and aspirations.
Yeah.
It's also essential to research your competitors and see what they're doing.
So it's not just about being creative, it's about being strategic and informed.
Exactly.
What are some resources people can use to learn more about packaging design and trends?
There are some great online resources like Packaging Digest,
Okay.
The Die Line, and Packaging of the World.
Okay.
These sites showcase innovative packaging designs from around the globe and offer insights into industry trends.
Wow.
You can also attend packaging trade shows and conferences to see the latest innovations and network with industry experts.
That's fantastic advice.
Yeah,
It sounds like there's a whole world of packaging knowledge out there waiting to be explored.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
And the more you learn about the art and science of packaging,
Right.
the better equipped you'll be to create something truly special for your brand and your customers.
We've laid a solid foundation here, unpacking the power of custom packaging and how it can elevate your brand. But we're just getting started.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah,
We're digging deeper into the world of custom packaging
right.
and how it can transform your product from just another item on the shelf to a must-have experience.
That's the goal.
What we're really moving into now is the psychology of design and how even subtle elements like color and typography can influence a customer's perception
Right.
and ultimately their purchasing decisions.
Yeah,
I'm fascinated by this idea of shelf appeal.
yeah,
You walk down a grocery aisle,
right.
and there are hundreds of products all vying for your attention.
So many.
What makes you pick up one over the other?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
Packaging needs to cut through the clutter and grab the consumer's eye in a fraction of a second.
Wow,
It's like a visual handshake,
I like that.
making a promise about what the product inside has to offer.
Okay, so we left off talking about color psychology.
Right.
You mentioned how green is often used for eco-friendly products and blue conveys trust. But how does a brand know they're choosing the right color palette?
Right.
It's not just about personal preference, right?
Definitely not.
Okay.
You need to think about your target audience. Who are you trying to reach?
Yeah.
What are their demographics, their lifestyle, their values?
Right.
For example, if you're targeting a younger, trendier demographic,
Okay.
you might opt for bold, vibrant colors that convey energy and excitement.
That makes sense. You wouldn't use the same color palette for a line of organic baby food as you would for a line of energy drinks.
Exactly.
So true.
And you also need to consider the psychological associations of different colors.
Okay.
We've talked about green and blue, but red, for example, is often associated with passion, excitement, and even a sense of urgency.
Right.
It's no coincidence that you see red used a lot in clearance sales and fast food branding.
I never thought about it that way. I'm starting to see how color can be used, almost like a secret language,
It is.
sending subliminal messages to the consumer.
Totally.
It's powerful.
It's incredibly powerful, especially when combined with other design elements like typography.
Let's talk about typography.
Right.
I'll admit, I hadn't really thought much about font choices before,
It's easy to overlook.
but now I'm realizing how much of a difference it can make.
It's huge.
Typography is all about creating a visual voice for your brand.
It is.
It's about conveying personality and setting a tone.
Exactly.
Think about those handwritten style fonts that are popular with artisanal food brands.
Yeah.
They evoke a sense of craftsmanship and authenticity.
Yeah, you see that a lot with like small batch,
Yeah.
products or
Yeah. I can see how that would be more appealing than, say, a generic sans serif font for a product that's supposed to feel homemade or handcrafted.
Yeah, generic font just kind of screams mass-produced.
Right.
Doesn't have that
It doesn't feel special.
that special touch.
Yeah, precisely. And then you have fonts that are associated with luxury brands, often with a classic, elegant feel.
Yeah. Think serif fonts
Oh, okay.
with their little feet.
Yeah.
They tend to convey tradition and sophistication.
So, for example, if you're selling a high-end glass pipe,
Right.
you might choose a font that feels more elegant and refined rather than something bold and playful.
Exactly. The font should reinforce the overall brand message and the perceived value of the product.
This is making me think about all those unboxing videos we talked about earlier. If you have a product with beautiful packaging and a font that's visually appealing,
Right.
people are going to be more inclined to film themselves opening it and sharing it online.
That's the goal.
It's all about creating an experience that people want to share.
Absolutely.
And speaking of creating a visual experience, let's move on to graphics and imagery.
Okay.
This is where things can get really creative.
That's right.
I'm excited to dive into this. Graphics and images are such a powerful way to tell a story
They are.
and make an emotional connection with the customer.
Yeah, it goes beyond just information.
So what are some key considerations when it comes to using graphics on packaging?
First and foremost, clarity is crucial.
Okay.
You want the imagery to be eye-catching and memorable,
Right.
but it also needs to communicate what the product is and what it's all about.
Right.
Think about those iconic images like the Apple logo or the Coca-Cola script.
Yeah.
They're instantly recognizable and convey a whole set of emotions and associations.
It's like they've become part of our collective visual language.
They have.
But what about those brands that are just starting out?
Right.
How can they create graphics and imagery that will stand out and make an impact?
It's about finding your unique visual voice.
Okay.
What sets your brand apart from the competition? What story are you trying to tell?
Yeah.
Once you have a clear understanding of your brand identity,
Right.
you can start brainstorming visual concepts that embody that identity.
So it's about more than just choosing a pretty picture or a cool design. It's about conveying the essence of your brand through imagery.
Right.
Are there any common mistakes people make when it comes to graphics on packaging?
One of the biggest mistakes is using generic or cliched imagery.
Right. You want something unique.
Yeah, you want your packaging to stand out, not blend in.
Of course.
Another common pitfall is using too many graphics or making the design too busy.
Yeah.
This can overwhelm the consumer and make it difficult to decipher your message.
It's like that saying less is more.
It is.
Sometimes a simple, powerful image can be much more effective than a cluttered design.
Absolutely.
What about the use of white space in packaging design?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that's important, but I'm not sure why.
White space, or negative space, is crucial for readability and visual balance.
Okay.
It gives the eye a place to rest and helps to highlight the most important elements. Think of it like the pauses in a piece of music.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So it's not just about what you include in the design, it's also about what you leave out.
Exactly. Good design is all about balance and restraint.
We've talked a lot about aesthetics,
Yeah.
but let's not forget about the practical side of things.
Right.
How can packaging be designed to enhance the customer experience beyond just looking good?
Functionality is just as important as aesthetics.
Right.
If a customer struggles to open a package or finds it difficult to use,
Yeah.
that's going to negatively impact their experience with your brand.
I can imagine. It's like those frustrating plastic clamshell packages that are nearly impossible to open without scissors.
Exactly. Packaging should be intuitive and user-friendly.
Okay.
Think about features like resealable bags, easy pour spouts, or clear windows that allow the customer to see the product without having to open the package.
And of course, we can't forget about sustainability.
Right.
Customers are increasingly concerned about the environmental impact of packaging.
Absolutely. Sustainable packaging is no longer a trend. It's an expectation.
It's important.
Brands need to be mindful of their material choices.
Right.
Opting for recycled and recyclable materials whenever possible.
Mhm.
There are also innovative solutions like compostable packaging and plant-based inks that are becoming more widely available.
So it's not just about making your packaging look good, it's about making it good for the planet, too.
Precisely. Sustainable packaging is a win-win for brands, consumers, and the environment.
We've covered a lot of ground here, from
Yeah.
color psychology and typography to graphics, functionality, and sustainability.
Yeah, a lot.
It's clear that packaging design is a multifaceted discipline
It is.
that requires careful consideration and a deep understanding of the target audience.
Right. It's not something to be taken lightly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into custom packaging.
Yes.
We've covered a lot of ground from the psychology of color
Yeah.
to the importance of sustainable materials.
Absolutely.
But now let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
How are brands
Yeah.
actually using these principles
Right.
to create packaging that flies off the shelves?
What's exciting is that we can move beyond theory
Right.
and see how these concepts translate into real-world success stories.
I like that.
We talked about shelf appeal,
Yeah.
clear messaging, that emotional connection.
Yeah.
Let's look at brands that are hitting it out of the park.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So give me an example of a brand that's really mastered that instant visual appeal.
Think about Glossier,
Okay.
the beauty brand.
Yeah.
Their packaging is minimalist and chic
Right.
with that signature millennial pink.
Yes.
It's instantly recognizable on Instagram, in a store, anywhere.
I see it everywhere.
It perfectly embodies their brand identity
Yeah.
and appeals directly to their target audience.
It's like they've created a visual hashtag for their brand. You
Right.
see that pink and you know exactly what it is.
Exactly.
What about clear messaging?
Yeah,
Sometimes it seems like brands try to cram too much information onto their packaging.
absolutely. Simplicity can be so powerful.
Okay.
A great example is RXBAR. Their packaging is incredibly straightforward, with the ingredients listed prominently on the front.
Right.
It cuts through all the marketing noise and appeals to consumers who value transparency and simplicity.
It's like they're saying, here's what you get.
Yeah.
No hidden surprises.
Exactly what you see is what you get.
I love that honesty.
Yeah.
We've also talked about how packaging can create an emotional connection with the consumer.
Right.
What's a brand that's done this really well?
Dove's Real Beauty campaign is a fantastic example.
Oh, yeah.
They used their packaging to celebrate diversity and challenge conventional beauty standards.
Mm-hmm.
It was a powerful message that resonated deeply with women and sparked a much-needed conversation about body image.
It went beyond just selling soap.
It did.
It became a movement.
That's really powerful.
Yeah, it shows how packaging can be used for so much more than just selling a product.
What about innovation?
Okay.
What's a brand that's pushing the boundaries of packaging design?
Apple, of course, is always a leader in innovation.
Not just with their products, but with their packaging as well.
Yeah.
Remember the magnetic closure on the original iPhone box?
Oh, yeah.
It was such a small detail,
Yeah.
but it created a sense of delight and made the unboxing experience feel truly special.
It's those little touches that can make a big difference.
They really can.
What about social proof?
Okay.
How can brands use their packaging to leverage the power of social media?
Warby Parker is a great example. They encourage customers to share photos of themselves trying on glasses at home with the hashtag #WarbyHomeTryOn.
Oh, that's smart.
It's a brilliant way to generate user-generated content and create a sense of community among their customers.
It's like turning your customers into brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Exactly.
So we've seen how these principles can be applied in the real world.
We have.
What's the one key takeaway you want our listener to remember about custom packaging?
Packaging is an investment, not an afterthought.
That's so true.
It's an opportunity to create a tangible representation of your brand and tell your story. When done right, it can elevate your product, forge a deeper connection with your customers, and ultimately drive sales.
So the next time you're holding a product in your hand,
Yeah.
take a moment to appreciate the thought and creativity that went into its packaging. It might just surprise you how much of an impact it has on your perception of the product and the brand behind it.
Absolutely.
And remember, the possibilities are endless.
They are.
Don't be afraid to experiment, to push boundaries, and to create something truly unique that reflects your brand's personality and values.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of custom packaging.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration to take your own packaging to the next level.
Yeah, good luck out there.
Yeah.